So I just wanted to make a quick video because out here near where I live, a developer is planning to put in a new project out here, I think 16 homes, so it's a pretty small development. But I've been thinking about it a lot and just thinking about the fact that development so often happens, destruction so often happens in these little tiny bite-sized chunks that you might not even notice unless you're paying attention or watching over a long time scale. And I think we're seeing the same thing out near where I live, on the west side of town here. They're doing a lot of infill. So these areas that have had Walmart and Lowe's and these big box stores around them for a long time, but have sort of been these isolated patches of meadow and wetland and so on, are now getting developed more and more. And the development out here, it's out of the city, but it's pretty close, and there's wild turkeys, there's bear, there's deer, there's such an abundance of life out here, even so close to the city. And that's not to mention the trees, the oak trees, the ponderosas, all the shrubs, and the wildflowers, all the plant life. And I think the urban growth in this area, my phone ringing, the urban growth in this area is projected to be something like 48,000 additional acres of land destroyed by 2050 or 2030. I forget what the exact numbers are, but a lot of land. And this is under the smart growth plan. That's under the controlled growth plan that the cities come up with and the counties come up with. And so, yeah, it's just been on my mind a lot, and I'm glad that the neighbors are coming together to try and fight this project and try and stop it. And and I hope we're able to, but at the same time, it just points to me the importance of having a systemic analysis, because not everybody is going to be able to fight and win these local struggles to stop these tiny little projects. And that's why we're in the situation we're in, just these bites getting taken out. And so we need something that allows us to make inroads against the system that's underlying that whole thing, that whole cultural trajectory. So, and even on a smaller scale, one of our neighbors out here is putting in a little shed or a new home, I'm not sure what, maybe a barn, but he's building a little road and putting in utility lines and this new pad, and it's probably 1/8 of an acre, 1/4 of an acre, something like that, and yet that's habitat that's now destroyed. It's gone. And even if it was left completely alone to recover, it would take decades before it would be as abundant as it was 2 weeks ago, before they tore it up and covered it in gravel and poured concrete on the pad. And yet, I was talking to my friend earlier today, and she was feeling pretty down about the state of the world, which happens to me, happens to all of us, I think. And I brought up to her what keeps me going sometimes, which is the reality that even though things are so bad, we're not alone in the struggle. The natural world is fighting like hell to survive, and is doing a hell of a lot more to protect itself and to protect our future than humans are, cumulatively. And life wants to live really bad, and I think people can forget how powerful that is. And I daydream of the roads out here. They're already pretty quiet country roads, but I daydream about them having no more cars driving on them, and leaves building up over years and years, and seeds taking root and breaking up asphalt and trees starting to grow, and what was once a road maybe will be a small little meandering path that the animals can follow and the people can follow. And I don't think that's too far-fetched. I think that this culture is going to come down one way or another, and the sooner we bring it down, the sooner, if we can help accelerate that collapse, then more life is going to be left over, and life wants to live. Life's fighting like hell to live. And I think underestimating that would be a mistake. And personally, that's why I don't think all hope is lost, all cause for optimism is lost. I certainly don't feel optimistic. I don't feel like we're winning, because we're not, but I don't think it's ever too late. I don't think it's ever going to be too late. I'm never going to say, let's just stop fighting. This is over. Everything's going to shit. We've lost. You're not going to hear me saying that, even though it is going to shit and we are losing. You're not going to hear me saying that, because I don't think we can afford to give up. And if you really love anything, then you got to fight for it, even when it looks like there's no hope, even when it looks like there's no possible way you could win. You keep fighting, because what else are you going to do? You're going to give up on what you love? That's not what you do. So anyway, that's what's on my mind. Thanks for watching. Appreciate it. Have a good one.